Welcome, everyone. This is Wine Inspired, and a space dedicated to good wine with and without alcohol. And today is with us my good friend Felipe Espinosa. He has many hats. He's the CEO of the Latin American Chamber, is the vice president of the Parrilla Association of Chile, entrepreneur, and many other things that I will let him to explain. So, welcome, Felipe.
Thank you very much, Kiko, and thank you for having me here today. I know I'm your client in the Wine Inspired, so happy to explain how this journey began and how it's going.
Thank you for being here, Felipe. But although we're going to be talking about wine, particularly non-alcohol wine, and the relation with your sports activities and business. So, but why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and your story, what you do, what are you doing in Singapore? I mean, whatever you want to share with the people.
Absolutely. Okay, so I'm Felipe Espinosa. I'm from Chile, this long and thin country in South America, in Latin America. I've been here in Singapore for 8 years so far, and we came with my family. I have 2 daughters, twins. We came here following my wife's job opportunity, in fact. So I used to have a few companies in Chile. Now, when we came here, I started looking for what to do in some of these conversations with people, basically networking. I met Angela Torres, which is the former CEO of the Latin American Chamber of Commerce, and I started working at the chamber 7 years and a half ago. And yeah, what I do, as you mentioned, I do sports. I do competitive paddle. I used to do it in Chile. I do here in Singapore. I'm in the first division in the National Singapore League. I have some companies and some businesses here in Singapore. We also invest in some others in Latin America. And now I'm the executive director of the Latin American Chamber of Commerce. This is something that I really enjoy to do. There's a lot of opportunities to meet people, to know about new businesses, new technologies. I really love what's happening at the chamber too.
Oh, super interesting. Thank you for sharing, Felipe. This is things to be a common story in Singapore of coming for a couple of years and staying forever. I came for a 3-year posting, and this is my year number 21. So, but this is not about me; it's about you. So, tell us now, going a little bit into the subject of the non-alcohol wines. Tell us about your story with non-alcohol wines. How would you actually got into that, and why you are still having NoLo? That's probably more interesting. Let's start from you. Tell us that story.
Okay, just one parenthesis. I moved even into non-alcoholic spirits, but let's start with the wine.
Oh yeah, good.
So first of all, I heard for the first time of this non-alcoholic wine here in Singapore. There's a big Muslim community, and probably they are the ones more advanced in this topic. And of course, at the beginning, I said, no, this is not real wine. You know, it's something that I will never try. I don't need it. I don't want it. And probably I won't like it. But with time, I had the opportunity to try it the first time. I cannot recall exactly when, but I found it, I'm not going to say the perfect replacement, but very tasty, nice, to start some conversations and to drink, not drinking, So that's how it started. And definitely it was bias surrounding not just the wine, but the whole concept. I would say one of the first, it is that you are basically paying for the most expensive flavored water. Because if it doesn't have alcohol and it has some aroma, some of the things is water with some other stuff. Of course, you learn with time, and you, Kiko, helped a lot educating me on this. That is actually real wine, but it's alcoholized, or you are taking out the alcohol with some products. So which is not easy because you need to take the alcohol, but keeping the flavor and the aroma is not an easy thing. So I think that's one of the first bias. Also, there is the cultural thing and the social part, saying everybody saying if you are going to drink proper wine or drink water, something in between that also is it's not as probably as expensive as wine, but it has some price. But I think I started enjoying it definitely, and that pushed me to go a bit deeper on this and start saying, okay, if this I liked, why not this other one? So like in any other process of learning to consume something, you start specializing in a way. I like more, for example, whites than reds, the red wines now. I tried some sparkling ones. So you start looking for what's the one that you like the most. And now I have a few brands and a few kind of wines that I like the most. And definitely there is some benefit. We're going to talk about this in the process of this conversation. And the other thing is that it's not just zero alcohol. When you say non-alcoholic, sometimes there is this 0.5, these kind of things that makes it even a bit better. I don't know how much is a placebo effect, but it's nice. I found it that it adjusts very well to my lifestyle. It improves some parts of what I do in a daily basis. And you keep, the social part and the fun part of drinking, having something to drink while talking.
Yeah, interesting that what you're sharing, that you start tasting one and then tasting another, and start learning also about the different process of de-alcoholizing. Yes, I think in my case it was very similar. But I started with a very bad experience actually, and that was many years ago with no alcohol beer, and at the time was
Okay.
terrible, and that kept me away from the non-alcohol spirits, beverage, wines, until very recently, maybe 5 years ago. Then I started trying again, and I found that technology had evolved a lot. Then the beers were not good, but fantastic, right? That
Yeah.
the wines where in get there, the spirits are also sort of also very good. Interesting. But this is how we got into trying and experimenting. But let's talk about the benefits. No? So what
Mm.
are the benefits we find in consuming these products on different occasions? I think neither you or I actually we stopped drinking alcohol. No way. We still drink alcohol when
Definitely.
we want and when we think it's a good idea. But then we don't do it in some other occasions, or we do less. So, but tell me a bit of the benefits. You being a sport person, there are people come to
Mhm.
this for many reasons, but I think being a sport person is probably an interesting angle to share. So, what are the benefits you found in these products in your lifestyle, Felipe?
Yeah. So first, what you said is super true. At least in my case, I didn't fully replace um, uh, traditional spirits or alcoholic spirits and wine. It's just I'm mixing a bit different. I'm choosing depending, for example, if I have a tournament the weekend, so on Friday I go for more non-alcoholic than alcoholic wine, for example. But it's true. It's not a perfect replacement. It's not 100%. And in terms of the benefits, I think you can split it in at least three, which is short, middle, and long term. In the short term, I would say the first one and the most obvious one is less hangover. When you go to a hard party or barbecue that we do commonly on weekends, the next day is definitely different. Again, even if you don't fully replace, it's just one part, definitely at the next day you feel it is different. Also, another benefit that I've found, trying to think um about it, is that you enjoy a bit more the real spirit, or the real, not to say, not just the word real, but the traditional wine and spirits. So after drinking a couple of glasses of the non-alcoholic wine, the third one or the fourth one, that is that the alcohol one, you really taste it different. You enjoy it a bit more. You keep it there for a while. So that is another, for me, benefit. But talking about, for example, thinking in the sport part. So the next day, Saturday, I have a tournament. So on Friday, I drink some of alcoholic and some of non-alcoholic. What I've noticed also is that the pace you drink during a party, it starts decreasing with time within the party. So at the beginning, you drink, I don't know, 3 or 4 glasses in 3 glasses in an hour, for example. But there is 2, there is 1, and then the last one lasts for a lot. So what I've done, or what I'm doing every time, is to force myself to start the night or the party, the lunch, whatever, with a bottle of non-alcoholic wine. And then I keep it, I follow the flow, and just like any other regular party. But again, given that at the beginning you drink a bit faster, or drink a bit more in a faster pace, you at the end you reduce it. Probably is 1 hour within 4 or 5 hours of party, but in that 1 hour you reduce a lot the amount of alcohol. So definitely for short term benefits, the next day how you feel more awakened is super important. In the middle term, I would say the only one that I've really felt, although I'm doing, for example, a full diet in parallel, is the loss of weight. I used to be a bit bigger, mostly after COVID, and I started with this new life, in a way, a new way to do some things, including drinking wine. And I've lost like 10 kg in a year and a half. It's a slow pace, but it's very sustainable because I haven't drastically changed anything. There is a diet included, but I would say one of the main source of calories for me was wine or alcohol. So this few, fine tuning or adjustment in my daily life has allowed me to lose 10 kg in a year and a half, maybe something like that, in a very sustainable way. Again, I'm not forcing me to do anything super extreme. And in the long term, I haven't been, I would say, in this for super long. But anyways, you are consuming less sugar, less alcohol, you are intoxicating less your body. So there should be some benefits for the liver, for the brain, or the body damage in general. But again, I've not been in this that long to tell.
Yes, I totally agree with you. It's not, maybe the years we keep in this are not enough to compensate the other decades that we have mistreated our bodies. But I believe that there is some definitely some benefit that you can feel, and the loss of calories, or the taking of less calories, has been something for me particularly. I'm still big, but I'm a smaller than I used to be. And I think that was probably one of the most dangerous things of my lifestyle, is to consume so many calories. And for sure, your liver is very happy that you are giving him lesser and lesser toxins. Another aspect that I found in this type of product is inclusion. I don't know whether that happened to you, but in a party, there is always someone who needs to drive. There is someone who's pregnant. There is someone that for some health issues cannot consume alcohol. There is someone that for beliefs. So there are some people that have beliefs that don't allow them to drink alcohol. But having these products in my portfolio at home allowed me to always have something for everyone, and not saying, oh, you don't drink, you want water with lime or without lime. No, so
Exactly.
it is, so we have a lot more options than Coke, no, or a soft drink, because in a party or in a barbecue, as you mentioned, you want some kind of thing to pair with the food. So not
Mhm.
just drinking a soft drink. So have you noticed any of that, or how does it affect? I mean, I know you do networking events or things like that. So I wonder how this angle has been experienced by yourself.
Well, it's true. Alcohol in general has a role in um, in socializing with people, in talking. Not just the part that makes you, feel a bit more free, but the fact of having something in your hand and drinking something allows you to socialize better or differently. Definitely, for example, at the chamber, we have include non-alcoholic wine in some of our events, and that is mostly here in Singapore, uh, coming from like you coming from Latin America, where there's not, I think, not that diverse. Is almost the same people doing the same things. But here you notice there is a lot of people that say, "No, I prefer not to drink." And exactly, you have okay, regular Coke, Diet Coke, water, okay, sparkling water or still,
Yes.
but it gives them more options, and probably to feel I'm not, I don't want to talk about the people that does it, because I'm not I don't represent them, but it looks like more included. Everybody, you enter a room, you see everybody with a glass of wine, enjoying the time, enjoy the party. So definitely that part, it plays some role. True.
Yes.
I haven't
And
thought about it.
and and another experience has been a placebo effect. So
Mhm.
which is like I'm not sure whether you've done it, but it's like going out drinking with the friends, but drinking only no alcohol. So, and
Mm.
then after a while, people relax and they start trading stories, and it feels a little bit like being, with this buzz of the alcohol, but there's no alcohol. So
True.
you can go to the car and drive back home. So, have you had any of these types of experiences? No.
I think more than placebo is like well, it's the same idea, but it's like a muscle memory that after a while you start, getting relaxed. Um, i- Not sure if I've experienced it, because normally I start the night, but I don't stick into non-alcoholic. And the other
Mhm.
thing that you
Yeah,
recommended actually, and I also do, is, for example, now talking about more non-alcoholic spirits. I have
spirits. Yeah,
the non rum here at home, and I mix it with the regular rum and Coke. And honestly, is you almost don't notice the difference. And of course, you are doing something good for your body because you are decreasing the amount of
drinking
alcohol
less.
in your drink. But there is something that cannot be replaced in some way, in my opinion. And let me try to explain it in my
Hmm.
best English, but it's the kick of the alcohol, the kickback. You drink a sip of even the softer of the alcohol drinks, and you receive some punch.
Hmm.
So that doesn't happen. That is super true. So if you mix, that comes in some way back to
Yeah.
the drink. But yeah, it happens that you can have full conversations and full parties, and your body start remembering how party it is, and
Yes.
again,
And
it's not a full replacement, but
but
that's
you feel
something
like party.
placebo. Yeah, it's true. It's
Yes,
true.
it is true. It is true. Tell me a little bit of, you mentioned the spirits, like seems like it's now a big
Mm.
and significant part of your non-alcoholic consumption, or have you experimented with them? So h- tell me how you use it. I mean, what are
Mhm.
your favorites? So
Yes. So first of all, it's not something that you drink neat. That is a different thing. That, for example,
Yeah, it doesn't
talking about
work.
biases and how hard it is to start in this. The first thing that everybody does, including myself, or not everybody, but a lot of people, and the people that I show this kind of products to, it is okay, but I need to try meat first. So no, I did it so my first impression was no, this is absolutely not not gin, not rum or whiskey. And that's mainly because it's not, I think, it's not made to be drunk neat. It's
Mm.
for doing cocktails. So after you pass that first instinct to say, I'm a purist. So
Absolutely.
only
Happens to
if
me too.
I like it neat, I'm gonna approve this. I think it's a
Yeah.
way to say no, but it's okay. After passing that, you start mixing it, and definitely the thing changes a lot. I started with gin, I would say. Yes. So gin tonic with some grapefruit and, I don't know, rosemary or something like that. You barely notice the difference. I would say in the only part is what I mentioned is this kickback, this punch of the alcohol when you drink something with alcohol. But beside that, definitely you almost don't feel the difference. Then I tried the rum. I really like the rum even more than the gin. But I'm a gin drinker. But the rum with just Coke and some lime is the perfect Cuba Libre, and it's also libre of libre
Alcohol.
free for the ones that don't speak Spanish. It's free of alcohol, and is a really and you really, I would say, can trick your mind. And even better, as I mentioned that I do because you recommended, if you put just some regular
Actual rum. Yeah.
rum, is you don't notice the difference. It's really cool, and again, you're doing good for yourself. At the next day, going back to the sports part, I really not just play paddle. I train, play, and also I do tournaments, and so it was tough in my life. Has been tough. Sometimes you have a super nice, I don't know, your birthday celebration on Friday, but you have a tournament on Saturday.
Yeah.
And tournaments start at 8, 7 a.m. So, you need to not to drink.
Yeah.
So first you are thinking the whole night that you're not drinking, and you try to replace with, again, Coke or water because those are the traditional replacement. But now with this, you can definitely have almost the same party
Mm.
in not having the consequences at
Not
the
like
next day, and perform as much as you would do without drinking the day before.
interesting. Super interesting. Look, Felipe, you are also very social. I know you for quite a few years now. So you are always not only at work, your work is about socializing, it's
A lot.
networking, it's connecting people, but also in your personal life, you are also very social. So I'm sure you bring these type of products to not only to your own parties, but to other people's parties, and then
Absolutely.
I'm sure you show them. So tell me about the reaction you found in people. So what are the extremes, and what are the most common reactions to this type of
Exactly.
things?
Wow. So I don't know how biased this will gonna look like, but it's super different. Girls and boys,
Mm?
women and men, they react differently. So I'm gonna talk about my personal experience.
Yeah.
I'm not saying that this is everybody
There's no
reacting the same.
scientific analysis behind this. I
Exactly.
know.
Not a statistics, or you cannot quote me for a study. But ladies' side, first, okay, how many calories? I understand the non-alcoholic part, and they understand that everybody understands the benefits.
Yeah.
But tell me about the calories here. In fact, the gene, the non-gene you have, that is also zero or almost zero calories.
Yes.
So after that, they say, whoa, let's try it, definitely. So they are willing to try it because it's zero calories, besides, of course, zero alcohol, but that everybody knows. After that, I would say lots of people within my group, they started having it, not drinking it, having it at places like, okay, I'm a good person because I have the non-alcoholic gin, or rum or whatever other. And then with time you start seeing in some parties, again, mixing maybe one with alcohol, one without alcohol, or starting like my strategy, because you need to look for the strategy that works for you. My strategy is start with this a good hour, doing exactly the same that you would do, but with non-alcoholic, again, wine or spirit. So ladies, after checking the calories, they get convinced and they start trying. And now really I see these bottles in our parties, not just the ones that I organize. Boy side is a bit different. First comes the judgment. So what is happening? I'm going to try to
What's
be
wrong with you? What's wrong with you, Felipe?
I'm going to be try to be as political correct as possible. But it's like, what is happening? Any disease you want to talk about, or are you not happy with this? Are you leaving early? I don't drive here in Singapore, so all and other judgments come with it first. Then after the jokes, I say, okay, but try it. Yeah. So, and then tell me if it's okay. I have a friend that Thomas. He's a sommelier. He's a Michelin sommelier in Singapore last year, something like that. So he's the one that always tries the wine. And he always says, it is okay, but it doesn't fool me. And I say, it's not made to fool you. It's made to replace, but you being conscious or aware of what you're doing. Okay. And he likes it. And then the spirit is a bit tougher. Why, if you already drink this, why don't you go for the real spirit? But again, I said, okay, try it. And again, okay, but let me try it neat. I need to explain, no, not neat, not with on the rocks. You need to do a proper cocktail and then like it. And now, for example, something that we have done in our group a few times is this dry January or dry July, dry period of time. And they are looking for exactly the same that we are, but they force it to match with a month. We do it all year round,
all the year,
in a different way. So I say, okay, if you are doing this, but you want to be, again, coming back to the social part, to be included in the conversation, including the parties, do it with this non-alcoholic spirits. Has been tougher, but just before, like 3 weeks ago, before my holidays, I went to a barbecue and there was one bottle of non-rum. And I didn't bring it, so it was like a good sign, in my opinion. Yeah. Not a lot of people tried it. It goes just a half of the bottle among like 10 people, but it's a sign, Yeah. Things are changing. I think people see the benefits, and I'm not like promoting this openly. It's not a business for me, but I think it's good for everybody. At the end of the day, we are what we consume. We are what we eat and drink. So why not to take care of your friends a bit?
Interesting. Well, yeah, this is it's a beautiful note in a way to start closing this conversation, Felipe, which is, yes, you're not only taking care of your body, but if you, let's say, contaminate other people with this lifestyle, you also start helping other people. So I think it's been, super interesting to talk to you. I mean, even though I know you for many years, I didn't know some of the things that you just share with all of us. So any final comments that you would like to make about not about just Winespire, but about what you do or what you recommend people to do? This is your opportunity for a little commercial.
A little commercial. Okay. So if you are in Singapore, you are interested in Latin America, contact us in the Latin American Chamber of Commerce. We are always open and happy to help, to inspire, to support companies to go to Latin America. We also have crazy good parties. The Latin American parties, probably everybody has heard about it, but are super good. So reach us and let's talk about what we can do. If you go to our parties, once in a while you'll see non-alcoholic products. Maybe that's the moment to try it. I'll be happy to explain and go deeper in my experience. Normally, Kiko is also there, so he can also explain the
Share some
benefits.
thoughts.
And I think more than the formal benefits, when I explain this to people, again, the one that question me or the one that just honestly ask, is the experience. Because you can count the calories, you can tell more about the brain, the liver, and all these kind of things. But at the end of the day, everybody more or less know about it. But I tell my experience. This has happened to me. Has worked? Yes. Replaced all the alcohol? No.
No,
Is equally fun? Maybe not.
hard to
But
say.
in
Yeah.
a proper dose, definitely helps, and you don't even notice in your daily life.
Well, thank you so much, Felipe, and thank you all following us and taking the time to listen to these testimonials about non-alcohol wine and spirits. So have a good night, morning, wherever you are.
Have a good one.
Bye.
Thank you very much, Kiko. Bye.